Hello and welcome! Hello and welcome to Frugal Over 50. I'm Amy and I'm happy to welcome you here to my channel where we talk about everything related to frugality, minimalism, and intentional living, especially aimed at the needs of the mature woman. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope that you will click the subscribe button, click the notification bell so you'll be notified first of new videos, and give this video a like if you like this kind of content. I want to talk to you about some of my thoughts, some of the conversations that I'm having with my teenagers, and some of my ideas for how we as frugal people, especially frugal women over 50, can go through the next year, year and a half, 2 years, and coming out of what we are experiencing right now. If you are a woman over 50, we do have 50 plus years of being on the planet, and we have planned for and we have been through bad things. And this is a bad thing. We've been through it. And sometimes that can be helpful because it helps us remember, oh yeah, I've been through bad things before. What did I do to cope? Sometimes it's tougher because this bad thing can bring back trauma from the previous bad thing. This can be a tough thing to sort out internally, and I think really that it's one of the crucial things that we have to identify as we go forward through this year, a year and a half, till we get the vaccine, really. And I think that it's important to understand that you have survived this long because you knew how to survive, and because you had people who could help, and because you had support systems in place that kept you there. And it's important to acknowledge that, and it's also important to acknowledge the difference between feeling the panic and the anxiety about this situation and feeling triggered, as we would say, about something that happened in the past, which seems to be coming up again. And so as a start, it's looking at what are my coping skills? What is my history? Where do I need some help to just sort of mentally get my head in the game here so that I can be present for the people who need me and for myself, because I need me. And is there somebody out there who can help if I need to talk to somebody, if I need to talk about medication dosages or some new or different medication? We need extra support right now. And it may be easy to sweep that part of it under the rug because we are so focused on the basics. Do I have food? Do I have household goods? So as we're thinking about our physical needs for providing for ourselves and our families, it seems like the other stuff, the mindset behind it, is not quite as important. And sure, I mean, it's a juggling act because it's hard to feel calm and prepared if you don't have the stuff, the physical stuff that you need to survive. That's clear. But it's also hard to get the stuff that you need and to identify what you actually need if you're super anxious. So like for me, I've been really frugal and really doing a great job on a minimal food budget. And I had about a week there when I kind of went crazy on food shopping. I gotta be honest. And I've got plenty. Thank goodness I've got plenty, and I didn't make it so nobody else had any. I wasn't that kind of a hoarder. But still, I'm looking back on it going, there's still food in the stores. If it's not my usual brand or my usual thing, I could get something else. I don't live in a part of the world where actual food supply is an issue. If you do, I truly feel for you, and I hope that you're able to find the support that you need to get the food and the household goods that you need in your house. But where I live, it's okay to go out to the store, and there's plenty of food there. And I just kind of flipped out and bought a whole bunch of stuff, and I finally had to just talk myself down and say, you can go to the store for what you need, but you can't go to the store to get more. As part of sorting all this out, it's important that we be really clear and really honest with ourselves, with our families, with our communities, and with our world about the fact that we're going to be in this together for quite some time. We are very fortunate that we live in a world where science is on our side. And instead of a vaccine coming in 5 years or 10 years, which is the usual time frame, we are getting actual, fairly reliable reports that there may be something for us as soon as mid-2021. That's ridiculously fast. And we are so fortunate that we have such advanced science working for us. At the same time, we know that there are companies and medical organizations around the globe trying various experimental treatments. Right now, as we speak, people are taking these treatments and seeing how they work. And at the same time, there are companies ramping up testing kits so that we need to remember that around the world, as we start to see numbers of coronavirus cases grow exponentially, there are really two things happening. One is that indeed it is spreading. We are not immune, and it spreads quickly, and many of us will be affected. We will get it, or our family members, loved ones will get it by the time the vaccine comes. This will happen. But part of what will happen, at least initially, is that numbers will seem to skyrocket because finally we have testing. And those cases that were not so severe are suddenly able to be identified. This is important to know because we know from the one test case of a whole small town in Italy that if everybody is tested, then everybody can be tracked, and then we can keep it contained. We won't get 7 billion test kits before the vaccine is created. That's not realistic. But we need to understand what the numbers mean. They mean we have a new virus, that nobody is immune, that it travels fast. And they also mean that more people are making testing kits. I want to give a shout out here to my brother who works for a company that makes testing kits right now. And they're taking on extra shifts with great delight. And they are my heroes. I keep texting him saying, not all heroes wear capes. And so these things will be coming to us. And they will be coming not as fast as the virus because it moves quickly, but they'll be coming right after it. What can we do? We know what we can do. It depends who you are, doesn't it? Because if you work in medicine, if you work in food production, if you work in certain kinds of manufacturing, you know that by the time this vaccine comes around, you're going to be tired. You will have been out there on the front lines for a really long time, and I want to say thank you in advance for doing that. If you are the sort of person like me, for instance, who already works from home or who can help other people learn how to work from home, I've done both of those things in the last couple of weeks, then our job is to stay out of the way. If you are the sort of person who worked the kind of job that is very public facing, that has just been canceled and shut down, then you have a big job too, which is to find more work. And it's any kind of work that you can get, I know. And if you need help, reach out in your community for the kind of help that you need, whether it's unemployment, whether it's food, whether it's medical care, whether it's mental health care, whether it's people to talk to. We have elderly family members who are depending on us. We have children depending on us. We have pets depending on us. We have jobs depending on us. And we have ourselves depending on us. So I would encourage you to not spend all your time clicking on CNN and New York Times and Washington Post and then back to CNN and then back to New York Times and then back to Washington Post or whatever your news sources are. Even if you feel like you must check at least once a day, make sure it's somebody who does not sensationalize but gives the full picture of what's actually happening. The full picture includes, yes, a virus that spreads more rapidly and in more ways than we have yet identified. But the full picture also includes a race to a vaccine that is the fastest race to a vaccine in the history of humankind. It includes people who are talking to each other in ways that we have never done before. Education happening in ways that we have never done before. How will we come out of this? What kind of people will we be? Let's be kind. Let's be clear. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. I'll see you soon. Bye.